Hi, everyone. So, aside from wheated bourbons, which definitely is my sweet spot, my palate has also been leaning a lot towards toasted bourbons and, in some cases, toasted rye recently. The Nulu small batch, the Nulu toasted small batch that I had that I talked a lot about, which was a really, really good bottle at a really good price, definitely was probably one of the best toasted bourbons that I've had. But what that got me thinking was maybe there were some toasted bottles that I should give another try, and there's one in particular, and that's this one right here, the Elijah Craig toasted bourbon, toasted barrel, but it is toasted bourbon, 94 proof. I did review this before. At the time when I had it, I wasn't overly thrilled with it. I think I started to like it a little better towards the end, but I just don't remember being totally thrilled with it. And then in the late, this bottle came out in 2020, but I got this like I don't know, like a year ago. But then 2024, the Elijah Craig toasted rye came out. And I didn't review this. Was a few months ago, and I sort of liked it. And I'm not even a huge rye guy. Certainly not a rye guy at lower proofs like this. Generally, if I like them, it's generally on the higher side, with very few exceptions. So it kind of got me thinking. First of all, let me give this bottle another try. And I know I remember even said that on the video that I was going to give this another shot. Now that Nulu and also the Whistle Pig, which is not as good, but definitely another one that's a toasted bottle. I said I'd kind of give this another shot. So I picked this up. And I want to just kind of give this another taste, and then I'm not going to do this blind because these are clearly different profiles, but I'm just going to do a non-blind comparison of these two, put them next to each other. So first, let me get this one open, and we're going to kind of give it a re-review. Here we go. All right, since we're just opening this bottle, we got to give it a cork pop. That was fair. Okay, so we have it poured up. So again, this is now the second bottle that I've had of this. The first one I reviewed, and it was like a year ago. Again, had mixed feelings on it. We're going to give this another shot. So, again, this is the same mash bill, same liquid as the regular Elijah Craig Small Batch 94 proof. But in this case, this is poured into a second new charred oak toasted barrel, which it is finished in. It is finished in a new toasted oak barrel. So it maintains its status as a straight bourbon whiskey. It's just because the second barrel is new and because it is charred. So let's give this a shot. And also, just to know, it's the same mash bill as the regular Elijah Craig. 78% corn, 10% rye, 12% malted barley. And MSRP is 54, which that is too. I'm getting kind of a marshmallow. And of course, I'm going to have the other toasted bottles in my head that I've had. Getting a lot of kind of like marshmallow sweet. Let's just give this a taste. Cheers. I can see I like it better this time. I do like it better. I think I guess I just have that certain profile in my head now of the toasted bourbon. I will say I do think that the Nulu is better. It's a different proof. The Nulu was 108. This is 94, so it's a lower proof. I'm not sure what that mash bill was. So I would say I don't like this as much as that. Probably another time I'll compare it to the Whistle Pig. But in any event, this is, I think, better than the last time. Now we're going to pour up the rye. Okay, so we have the Elijah Craig toasted rye poured up. And similarly, this is also 50. These are the same price. It's about $54 here in New Jersey. It probably is fairly similar in most places, I'm guessing. And this is their straight rye whiskey that is poured into a second barrel, and it is a toasted new charred oak barrel. So it's a second barrel, maintains its status as a straight rye whiskey. Very similar with that. The mash bill, of course, with this is, and I reviewed this not that long ago, barely just makes it a rye. Just makes it a straight rye whiskey. It's 51% rye, just making it. 35% corn, 14% malted barley. So this maintains a whole bunch of sweetness with 35% corn and just barely being a rye. So those are the types of ryes that I like, where they're not, 100% rye or 95% rye, where there is, just kind of a low enough, enough to make it a rye, but not that high. And, about a third of it being sweetness of corn. I like that. So I'm going to try to now compare this. You can say there's a little bit more rye smell on this one, but let me give the rye a taste. Cheers. So now let me just try them against each other. Yeah, so the rye, the toasted rye definitely has more of that rye spice in there, but it's not overly powering with the rye spice because again, it's only 51%. One more time. So here's the deal. When I had gotten this, I was like, oh wow, I think I like this a lot. Even though it's a rye, I like it better than that. I think, I don't think I have a strong preference of one over the other. I think, let's put it this way, I think I still like this one. I may like this a little bit better than when I did the first time. But I would say this, I think that was a better deal. But, if you do like a toasted, type of profile, and you like the Elijah Craig profile, these are not bad. But this surprised me because I don't like, I'm not crazy about maybe lower proof ryes, and this one is one that I did like. So what I'm going to do in another video, and this is just a kind of another one of those things of coming back to a bottle and giving it another try. I'm going to do another video. I did this with this and the Nulu. I did a Bourye, and this one I think would actually be very interesting, just taking both of these Elijah Craig toasters and making a Bourye of it and see how they kind of melt together. We'll do that in the next video. Cheers.